to Mindful Business, weekly discussions about mindfulness, entrepreneurship, and Web3. This is a live Twitter space. It's about an hour long. We open up the floor to questions or comments the last 15 to 20 minutes. We do record this space and upload it to YouTube, so please be mindful of that if you do come up. This is episode 16, Holiday Marketing Strategies, and I'm joined by my lovely co-host, Abby, the creator of Elevate, as usual. How are you doing today, Abby?
Hello, Sierra. Happy Wednesday. Just hearing you say episode 16 out loud, I know that's where we are, but boy, it's just so cool to see how many weeks we've been at this. Really, what always leaves me feeling energized anyway, the space that we have weekly and have been having. And I'm so excited that the holidays are upon us and to talk about some really fun ideas. I know we're going to have some unique perspectives, and I'm also curious what things kind of line up as always. How are you doing today, Sierra?
I'm doing well. I'm kind of like can't believe that holiday shopping season is already here. And that the highlight of holiday shopping season, Black Friday, Cyber Monday, is approaching so quickly. It's like, I think it's less than 10 days away. And yeah, I know myself and like millions of people around the globe are about to start loading up on gifts for loved ones or just for themselves because there are a lot of great deals this time of year. So I'm excited as both a shopper and business owner.
It's interesting that you say around the globe because I have found since this time last year, it was really about just over a year ago that I came to Web3. I have found that I've moved away a little bit with Web3 marketing specific holidays because it's such a global scale. And so even in when I had my brick and mortar yoga business and wellness business, I had this tendency to steer away from heavy on specific holidays, right? So just give a general holiday. But it's so interesting, even here in Web3, to say holiday and maybe more folks say Q4 or things along those lines because it's such a much broader audience, isn't it? So I don't know how that factors into what you do and how you navigate between Web 2 and Web 3. But I'm really excited to unpack the things that you have to talk about tonight when we think about marketing for the holidays.
Yeah, absolutely. Since getting married, I have become and celebrating like different holidays, my husband and I've become much more conscious of just how I approach the holiday season, and this time of year, previously for me was just like, oh, it's Christmas time. But now, being married to someone who celebrates Christmas kind of just to humor me, it is more of just a general kind of holiday time and just a time to get together with the family, show each other love and appreciation, and make memories. As a business owner, it's definitely great to not alienate people and make people feel, regardless of what holiday they celebrate or don't celebrate, it's just a good time to shop and take advantage of deals. So I do want to preface this Twitter space by saying some of the perspective, all the perspectives I'll be sharing today are from my position as a small business owner. My store is mostly online. We do have some real life presence, specifically during the shopping season, which is exciting at like local pop ups and markets here in Virginia. But a lot of my insights are more related to like e commerce and really those of you who use the internet in some way to market or sell your product or service. And I do also want to say that not all products and services maybe are applicable for these awesome holiday deals. So, like, if you're selling something that it doesn't make sense to discount right now, don't feel weird or bad about it. So, yeah. How are you feeling, Abby? Are you excited to maybe take advantage of some nice deals?
I am a little bit, and we were talking before, or sharing some messages back and forth, that how it's kind of alarming how much earlier every year the Friday deals begin. I was shopping a couple weeks ago for a coat, and they were already setting deals out. Maybe it was a week and a half ago, but either way, I'm excited, and it's also, I have to really, I feel like you have to up your self care game this time of year because it can really overwhelm you. I don't always love in-person shopping, so I have to really plan my things out. But yeah, I'm excited about it. And what I'm excited about this conversation is that's what I was saying before. We have such different things we're bringing into this. You're going to be more e-commerce, and the experience that I'm bringing, I'm really kind of the things I kind of brought on my list as I was thinking about this conversation. I'm really reaching back into when I was in the height of my brick and mortar business days. We really did a lot of in real life, in person holiday marketing. So I think it's going to be fun to share some of these different things because I know I'm going to learn a lot from you today. One thing I didn't hear you mention, and something I really tapped into when we had several locations for our yoga wellness studios once upon a time, was Small Business Saturday. And American Express has some really great resources for small business owners. Back in the day, you could get like little carpet runners and like physical products to put in your store that had Small Business Saturday. They were free products. You just had to order them in advance, and they would come if you would mark it that you were open and having deals on that day. I pulled up their website today, and it looks like they have some really great printables and graphics that are already made and things of that nature, and some specific resources for Black owned businesses, small business. But it didn't look like they had some of the like hands-on tangible items that they had once upon a time that were really nice. And I don't know, is Small Business Saturday probably better for a brick and mortar? Do you have anything like that on your radar? Or are you more specific to, I bet definitely Cyber Monday, which I hadn't even thought of leading up to this. So what are your thoughts on that?
Oh my goodness, I love that you mentioned Small Business Saturday. We did do promotions for it specifically the first couple years we started our business, and then I don't know how, but somehow we just kind of phased out of doing it. This year, we're actually just doing a weekend long sale to kind of cover the whole gambit of Black Friday, Small Business Saturday, on Sunday, our wallets rest, and then Cyber Monday. So it's like basically just a sale from Friday to Monday to save myself the headache of having to go in and change it every single day for a different for a different thing. But I also love that you mentioned that like some brands and businesses already have their holiday deals or Black Friday. Like I'm seeing a lot of marketing and ads, like it's November 16th. We're a week and a half at least from Black Friday, but I am seeing that word everywhere. It's like Black Friday has started already. Lots of early access sales, lots of deals are already live, especially at like big box stores. This year I decided to be kind of traditional and limit the sale to the true dates of, Black Friday through Cyber Monday. Um, but I do think if you want to stir up like excitement and sales quicker, starting promotions sooner will definitely give it more reach. What do you think about the sales starting so soon this year, Abby?
I I've I've done different things over the years. I like that it sounds like you test different things on different years. I For me, it feels a little early. I have certainly experimented over the years, but I like what you're doing this year, and I've done that in years past. It used to be we would do different things, but in those last few years of being open as a brick and mortar, I did a similar thing where we would just combine. Some years I was strict about the dates. I have found, people are so last minute, and people, I would have in person in front of me clients saying, "Oh, I missed the sale on such and such day." And it's harder to say, "Oh, no," online you can just have your date set and it just doesn't allow the sale, right? Or the sale price. Whereas if you have someone in front of you, it's the holiday season, you're going to be seeing them every week until Christmas. You're going to just give in and give them the sale. At least through like a 1 or 2 week period. In the early days, we would have a holiday open house, and that would be when we would have our biggest sale of the year. We would only offer, if you buy, I can't remember now, but I think it was if you bought 5 services, like 5 massages, you would get one free, and then you got a free gift. I don't know. Whatever our biggest sale was, you could only get it at our holiday open house once upon a time, and then we would expand that a little bit. And then in later years, people do less of those things. And certainly we got to, weird times with COVID, et cetera, et cetera. And it just got to be like, okay, you could just buy it online. You don't even have to come to the thing. So I've done different things over the years, but I think it's good to kind of mix it up and see what works best and to be flexible on some level because, as we know, just the vibe and seasons and all those things change with people. And it's nice to keep it fresh. Yeah.
Absolutely. I love that you mentioned that your customers kind of like expected that this big annual sale was going to be like deep discounts and like they could look forward to it and anticipate it. And I feel like, especially when you're offering a more premium service, something that people might want but don't necessarily need. It is important to, you know, kind of tailor when you decide to offer your discounts and when you can build the anticipation and get people excited and looking for it and like ready, knowing that like every year this great promo is coming. It's just it hits different. I do feel though that every year, obviously, like the state of the economy is different. And obviously, with like recent surges across the globe and the cost of living and this inflation issue we've all been experiencing, I do think that shoppers this year, I'm already seeing now, spending habits have shifted a lot and people are spending a lot more intentionally. So I do think, as Abby mentioned, like this is the time to go all out, and this is the time of year to be the most generous with your customers because shoppers are kind of expecting the best prices of the year. Our brand doesn't have sales very frequently, so our customers really anticipate Black Friday and look forward to the limited opportunity to save big on their crystals. This year we're going to do up to 35% off. We'll have like a tiered sale and have a free shipping promo. But every year we kind of switch it up and test different things. Last year we did a 12 days of deals situation, which I'll talk a bit more about later. But essentially, the 12-day countdown to December 25th, like each day we had a little freebie that we would add in with orders over $10. So I feel like it's like the time to get creative and be generous. I'm curious, what are some of the fun what are some of the deals that your customers have appreciated the most? It sounds like that 5 pack you just mentioned was a popular one.
It was, and in addition to it, back in the early days of my brick and mortar studio, we would have this holiday open house. We would have the biggest sale of the year, but we would also have, food, and we would have expo, right? We would demonstrate like all of our fanciest yoga tricks, right? And have some kind of little performance and made it really a special event, a party, and people always walked away really having like an emotional connection, right, to the studio itself. And that I feel like that always lends to the shopping experience. If you're having some drinks and some nice appetizers and heavy hors d'oeuvres, and you're enjoying some entertainment, and you're really connecting with the people there, then it tends to be that you're going to shop more because you feel good. Because shopping is such an emotional experience, right? So that always really was a great way for us to make up for income when like your summer months are going to be lean. It's always nice. That's why it's Black Friday, right? It's always nice to really beef up the opportunity to increase your revenue in these times. And if you can work in some creative ways to really kind of increase the dollar amount people are spending per sale or in each time they come in, I think that really works out nicely. I love that you mentioned 12 days. That's absolutely on my list. I've done 12 days of giveaways in years past. And really when I started, kind of my earlier days of social media and when I had brick and mortar, a huge part of that was Facebook for many years. And so we would do 12 days of giveaways, and some other like sometimes collaborating with other like wellness brands between, Instagram and Facebook in those early days, which I think we see a little bit of here in Web3, but centering it around wellness, but holidays, de-stressing, and having some sort of giveaway by, interacting with each business. Things along those lines have been helpful. But something else that I have found to be useful, and we all have right this limited amount of energy, whether that be money or time, to invest in different things. And so, rather than like once upon a time, I would maybe spend too much in print ads or those kinds of things, and over the years have shifted more to like taking that instead once you have your brand established and you don't necessarily need to constantly advertise in print, taking that and using the money to sponsor a local event. I'm in a smaller area, it feels kind of small town, so to really invest in sponsoring, like this year I'm investing in, there's a shine on like dance competition. I'm in it, but I'm also going to sponsor it, sponsoring charitable organizations, or stuffing bags for shelters or whatever it might be. I don't know, sometimes it feels like a nicer way to utilize that advertising budget around the holidays, and it benefits more than one organization, and it just feels like good vibes all around. I don't know how creative you get with things like that or what your thoughts are, but those are just some things I've done in years past that have, I think, been useful and helpful and fun and impactful.
Tis the season, Abby. Tis the season. I love it. That's awesome. I think it's really impactful to get involved in the community, and especially be generous with the people you share your physical space with. Um, so that's amazing and incredible. And I do remember you mentioning that to me. I want to see some videos once this competition happens. I want to see what these dances, what these dances look like. But yeah, as you mentioned, like the holiday time is a great time to get creative and explore, uh, just explore different things. Like I've seen a lot of retailers create entire holiday shops, like and holiday experiences, and get really introducing like seasonal products. Like for example, everyone knows that like Starbucks, like it's fall when Starbucks like pumpkin spice flavor comes. It's like, oh my goodness. And like these things like they do, it's crazy how they become staples in our human experience. And as a brand owner, a business owner, someone who's a vibe curator, um, you can do things to help welcome the holiday season as well, and help your customers or supporters feel that magical energy. At Good Juju, we welcome the holiday season with our special Christmas tree carvings and our little snowflake carvings and snowmen. And I've seen lots of brands make kits and sets and introduce products that are specifically for gifting, so that they can be purchased and then given to someone else on the holidays. So I do think it's a fun time to just kind of get creative and mix it up. And also just to be visible everywhere your shoppers are. I love that you're being super intentional about making effort to be physically prominent in your area and let people know, like, hey, I'm here, I have this business. Like, we exist online, but we also exist in real life. The last few holiday seasons, I've been adding new sales channels to try and further reduce like friction for shoppers. And the most recent one is Twitter. So now on our Twitter profile, so this is like a new thing. I think it came out within the last maybe 6 months. Like right under all of our key account information, there's like a little shopping section that like highlights a few products and has the price. And like there's a little button that says view shop and like clicks through to our actual store. So um in addition to our direct website in this, like our Instagram and our Facebook are shoppable so that you can check out directly on those platforms without having to visit our website at all. And I do feel like this is important because it's making the effort to meet your customer where they are and to reduce friction and to make the experience easier for them. And ultimately, I've learned as a business owner, it's like that's where the breakthroughs come from. It's not making more hoops for people to jump through, it's making people's lives easier, right?
100%. You hit the nail on the head there. And at the end of my brick and mortar, when I had my wellness studios, I was starting to implement the Facebook store as well. And I think that's such a key point. Having your store online, sure, but having access and easier access for people to be able to just get what they need quickly and easily. The less click through, the easier it is for them to make a purchase. And I think you are so masterful at really utilizing your various channels. I notice you do direct email marketing as well, and that was something else that's on my list that was really the such a huge key to really all year long, growing my brick and mortar and getting people to book services and workshops and shop products was my direct email marketing. I wanted to go back to something you were mentioning about being creative this time of year with your packaging deals. And I think those of us that have both products and services, it's such a great opportunity to make little packages, little gift baskets, whether they be virtual or in real life, um, things that bundle more than one thing that you're doing and selling and offering, because A, it makes it easy for your shoppers you were talking about, but B, it's also like this product over here, it doesn't necessarily sell as well as this product over here, or people don't seem to notice this one or this service or whatever it is. It's a great way to kind of tuck in the thing that's getting overlooked that you want people to have more top of mind awareness, right? You tuck it in with this other thing that has the thing everybody wants, right? So yeah, it's a great opportunity this time of year to really get creative with your bundling and your packaging. Years before I had my own brick and mortar studio, I worked in the day spa industry, and that was always a really fun thing for us to do. Is really packaging things and making it super easy, especially for maybe the last minute shoppers who are coming in to shop for the wife or the whatever it might be. Here it is. It's ready to go. It's easy for you to get your card out, your cash out, and just pick it up and go. So I love that you really brought home that point about making it easy and accessible.
Oh, yes. I see that you've received some Juju emails. Yes, we've been doing direct email the last 4 years, the entire duration since we launched our business. We try to send out emails about once a week just to let people know, like, hey, we got some new stuff, or we restock something, or we have a sale, or sometimes we'll even just send emails to let people know we have a new blog post, or there's a full moon coming, like, get your crystals ready, like stuff like that. So, and also text. And, I think we also spoke about direct email and text as great marketing channels in episode 9 of Mindful Business, which was our digital marketing 101 episode. So, just going to say, check out our YouTube. If you want to check out that episode, and like, we really get into the weeds of like kind of the 101 and tips and tricks of digital marketing. So, that is episode 9. But I do kind of want to reiterate in this space that creating and scheduling your holiday promotions and content well in advance and testing everything out beforehand will save you lots of stress. Um, I personally use Hootsuite to schedule our content. They have a few different tiers of plans that have different prices. There's also Sprout Social, and there are plenty of other options. But like, really, the last thing you want to be doing during the holiday times, when ideally you can be connecting with friends or family or enjoying time off work or school, last thing you want to be doing is having to sit on your phone or computer trying to put together a post or write write about a promotion or turn a discount code on. So, really utilize the benefits of these different services and technology that's available to us. And most of these tools now do allow you to schedule in advance.
What service do you use for your direct email marketing? Is that something that you run through Hootsuite? Are you Constant Contact is what I used for a million years, and then the last year or 2, I switched to a different service that I didn't like nearly as much, but was a fraction of the cost. But I'm curious which, service or product you use for your direct email marketing.
I use MailChimp. I've been using MailChimp for some time. It does kind of have a plugin that works with our e-commerce website, so it makes it easy for me. But they have a lot of nice little pre-built templates that make it easy to drop in the different products and kind of quickly put together a campaign without spending hours and hours trying to lay something out that looks nice.
I like that, and I like when the integration is easy. One of the reasons I stuck with Constant Contact for so long is it also integrated with my we had to use, not didn't have to, but really needed to use Mindbody as our online scheduling software for our services. Because really, if you're traveling anywhere, almost every yoga client out there uses Mindbody. And if you want anyone to use your know where you are and book your classes, you need to have Mindbody, and it integrated really well with Constant Contact so that new client comes in, email automatically gets fed into the to populating the list, which was such a nice service when I had that brick and mortar. But either way, whichever service, they're all so there's so many similar features, right, about all of them. But I do think there's it's such an impact. I know that that's where I got a lot of my business was direct email marketing. So love to see that you utilize it in so many different ways. One question I was going to ask, since you are more geared towards e-commerce marketing and digital marketing, do you feel like you mix up, and I need to pay more attention, I probably could answer this myself, but are you when you are utilizing all of your different platforms, are you, switching the content a bit, or is it really similar? And we probably did talk about this as I'm saying this out loud in that episode 9, but in terms of your holiday plan and your holiday marketing, is it real similar what you're doing, or is it a bit different vibe per platform?
Ooh, that is a good question. I love this question. Yeah, so we kind of, I try to observe what works best on each platform, and then I'll create a single piece of content, but kind of try and adapt it to the various platforms so I can get as much bang for my buck as possible. And by that, I mean, say we made like a nice graphic that we're going to post on Instagram. When I post it on Instagram, like I'm going to have a caption, I'm going to have some hashtags. I have my store connected to Instagram. So, like, I might tag the products that are in the post to make it easier for people to shop. But, like, when I post that same graphic on Twitter, which I very well might, I'm not going to use so many hashtags in a single post. I There's no way to link or tag the product. I'm not going to include a link to the product in the same post that I put the image in. I'm going to reply in a thread. um, and we kind of also touched on this in episode 9 in terms of like how you should adapt content to different platforms. But for the most part, I will say one thing that I'm doing across the board is like I'm noticing like videos are your friend. Like short form videos are becoming a very popular way to quickly share information, or to make a statement or to market your product. So especially if you're selling online and people can't see it in real life, it really helps bridge the gap. So I've been trying to get more intentional about consistently making these short form videos and really forcing myself to, because I will say, like, I'm as a millennial, like, I came up on like MySpace and like early Facebook and like these newer editions of like Instagram Reels and TikToks. Like, my brain is having trouble like adapting to them. Like, it starts to like make me go crazy watching all these short videos in a short period of time. So personally, I've struggled to adapt to like the short video craze. But I do see that when I'm consistent about it and intentional about making them, that there is a significant positive impact. So I'm like overcoming that aversion, I guess.
When I fell into the TikTok rabbit hole, I it was just for personal use, so I really never got into using it for my brick and mortar so much. But I will say prior to me really even giving a shit or knowing what TikTok was all about, one thing I did utilize a lot was Facebook Live on my business page, and that was really a useful tool. And so that was really quite a bit before people really started responding to these short form videos, as you were talking about. And so, as much as I loved my personal experience with TikTok, I think I'd love to get back to building a presence there from with the business page, because it's fun, it's short, as you said, people do respond to it. All of our attention spans are so short. We love something quick and fun and engaging, and there's nothing quite like video to capture someone's attention. And I have really noticed reels taking off, not just on Insta, but it seems like Facebook is really starting to utilize that a lot. I notice other friends that are getting into content creation utilizing Facebook Reels because that's kind of their comfort zone. But yeah, I think there's definitely something to be said for that. But boy, lives, I haven't done them in a long time, but it's something, after spending so much time here immersed in Twitter spaces for the last year, as I'm starting to branch back into IRL locally. I think that that's something to start utilizing again. Have you done much with Facebook or Insta Lives in the past?
Yes, I have. I had. I'm like laughing as I say this because I just struggled trying to do it as one person. Like there are a lot of people who have like online crystal stores who do Instagram lives, and then basically like it's them showing all the crystals and almost like doing a live auction, and like the people who are watching it can leave comments and say like, oh, I want to claim that one, or I want to buy that one. And then it's this process of like, then you have to follow up with these people. You have to record what each person wants to buy, like write it down or whatever, put it in your phone, follow up, invoice them, collect their billing information. Like for me, I'll be honest, like maybe I sound like a diva right now, but that was just way too much for me. I was like, dude, like, no, like I have all this stuff on my website. Like, I'm happy to do a live and show you everything on the website, but then like, you got to go to the website and buy it. Like, I'm not about to do all this data collection. Like, this is insane. So for me, that became a barrier, and kind of just turned me off. And I was like, damn, I don't have the stamina to do this. But I do think like if you and I hadn't decided to do this on Spaces, we probably could have done it on like IGTV or Instagram Live or Facebook Live, whatever, like so I do think this is just where we ended up, but hey, we could have ended up there too, I guess.
Well, and as you're speaking, I'm thinking, well, teamwork makes the dream work. All you need is someone to keep track of that stuff while you're selling your crystals and being the Vanna White over there, like displaying, like, and here's this. And then you just need a buddy to like record the info and then you're done. So it sounds like we just need to team up on a Facebook Live.
Yes, because my husband is like, girl, if you don't get that rock away from me and just put it down somewhere. He told me this year, he was like, you're going to the gem show by yourself. He was like, you can go with your cousin. He's like, I can't do that with you. It's too much. Bless him. But yes, I need a second set of hands. But no, I'm glad that you mentioned mind body, and because I know that a lot of wellness services, like massage and yoga, etc., will use mind body for like booking and payments. And I do think it's also important to mention in this vein of holiday marketing strategies that like accepting a variety of payment methods is another way to like reduce friction. And at Good Juju over the last few years, we accept everything. We take PayPal, credit card, Shop Pay, crypto. You can pay with Dogecoin if you want. I don't care. Like, I'll take it. And what I've really noticed this last few years is like installment payment options have become super popular. This whole like buy now, pay later, where say there's $100 item, but instead you can pay $25 every 2 weeks. Um, this is also a great option to kind of make your product or service, if it's a higher price, more accessible to someone who might not be able to access it otherwise. Um, for me, I have a goal of like also branching out eventually onto Etsy and eBay. We're on so many sales channels already, and the setup processes for these two channels are just a bit more tedious and involved, and I haven't had the time and bandwidth. But every holiday season, I try to branch out more, accept more payment methods, get on more sales channels, and just like be everywhere my customer is. Like it sounds kind of creepy, like stalkerish, but like I want to be wherever you're at, baby. Like I want to be there. Like whatever you're doing, I want to be doing it with you.
That's the only way though, right? You've got to have that top of mind awareness and you have to remove as many barriers as possible. I love that you brought up the new kind of payment plan things that have really cropped up in the last, I don't know, maybe it's been around longer than a year, but I've noticed it in the last year. Things like Klarna, I think is maybe one of the options out there. It's kind of like modern day layaway, you know? It makes it really easy. It's like a tech version of layaway and that makes it easier, more accessible for people, especially this time of year when we're juggling so many different things. And yeah, being where your customers are is huge. I had an Etsy for several years. It is not maybe as user friendly as whatever I had set up on my website before. And I didn't always do a good job of integrating all the things. You know, I have kind of a variety. I make art, but I also have wellness products that I sell. So Etsy was kind of more for my art and I like the idea of integrating all the things. So I eventually let it go. But good luck to you on that if you do it. But let me know how it goes. But I love that you have so many different channels that you can access to shop. I really do think accessibility is really near the top of the list when we think about marketing and making sales easier for people.
Yes, absolutely. Klarna is one of the buy now, pay later providers. So you are correct. Some other popular ones are Afterpay and also Shop Pay installments, which is like Shopify's version. So a lot of e-commerce websites at this point, you'll see like the full price of the product, and then like right under it, it'll be like, or make four payments of XYZ. And I've taken advantage of that previously to buy things that maybe I wouldn't have purchased otherwise. But obviously be mindful, don't get yourself in trouble. Don't bite off more than you can chew. Be a responsible shopper. Goodness gracious. Another thing I wanted to touch on is the importance of like being clear about your holiday promotions. Something that I've noticed this time of year is sometimes brands or business owners will get like really trigger happy about like kind of like we were talking about earlier, like so many deals have started already. And it's like every week is something new and a different promo. And, I just urge you, don't make the sale or promo too confusing. This year, we decided, I think maybe for the first time, to opt for automatic discount codes. So basically, instead of people copying and pasting like a promo code, the customer can just like focus on browsing our selection. And if they meet the order requirement, say it's like it's a threshold, say it's $100, like it's just automatically applied in their cart and checkout. And I feel like that is just going to make like I don't know. Personally, as a shopper, like sometimes it's just so annoying, like clicking back and forth and like, oh, what was the code? And let me copy it and paste it and let me make sure. And like, just a pain in the butt. And I just feel like it's better to just kind of do your shopping. And then when you're ready to check out, those discounts are reflected and you're like, ah, nice. We did a tiered sale. So, meaning like, different percent. So I shouldn't say did, we're doing like this is coming up. Black Friday is like a week and a half from now. So depending on, like our NFT holders will have a preferred tier and get like a better discount. Purchases over a certain threshold, over 175 will get like a better discount. So like we are going to be very intentional and very clear about communicating the different requirements for each percentage tier on the website. And I think it's important when you're putting together a sale with multiple qualifying factors or, dates and, this applies to this group and not this group. It's important to just try and be concise and get that information out there so your customer isn't confused and you don't end up with all this follow up messaging that's like, hey, I was trying to buy something and I thought it was going to be this price. Again, we want to make our life easier, not harder.
I think that's such a good point. That's such a good point because our time is energy, right? It's a precious resource. And all of the fuckery that comes with if you make something too tricky, we have all these good ideas, right? And I definitely have been guilty of that in the early days. And so I think it's such a good point that, like the KISS principle, right? Keep it simple, sweetheart. If there's too many steps, and like you said, you've got the dates and then you've got an asterisk over here because the restrictions apply or whatever it is, the trickier it is, the more time you're going to spend in the back end with people that have questions and emails or coming in or whatever it might be. So I think that's such a good point because that's a resource you can save in the long run by keeping it more simple. And if it does have steps, as you said, be very, very just clear about it. Be as clear and concise as you can be. Communication's everything, right? These are relationships with our clients and our customers, whether it's their first time interacting with us or their 100th time doing it. These are relationships, and we know the key to a good relationship, right, is communication and clear communication. I think that's just a real kindness to the client, but also to ourselves and our energy level, and just makes things run so much more smoothly. I love the idea of being proactive. So what a great tip there.
Oh, yes. I am a proactive person. Proactive is my middle name. No, absolutely. I think if you can get ahead of the eight ball, why not? I mean, holiday time is stressful on many levels. It's a time where we get together with our family and we all come together and we have more responsibilities or more people in our space, or we become more vulnerable. It's just a lot going on. So if you can make your life slightly easier, why not? Something I've noticed a lot of this holiday season, I mean, influencer marketing is always a thing. But I'm noticing a lot of influencer marketing, a lot on TikTok, a lot on Reels. Um, Influencer marketing is like so good that a lot of times when we see it, our brain doesn't even immediately know that it's like an advertisement or a piece of marketing material. Like we kind of first ingest it and observe it as like, oh wow, what's this interesting, captivating video or image? So I have noticed that as the holidays approach, lots and lots of co-marketing collaborations, especially I'm kind of excited to see how Web3 and NFTs are going to embrace the holiday shopping season this year, because non-fungible gifts are definitely fantastic gifts to give. And I'm sad to say I still have like I haven't received an NFT as a Christmas or birthday or any type of gift, honestly. I've been gifting them to myself this last year. So just going to put it out there and say I'm open to receive. And that if you don't want to give something physical, this is an awesome thing to consider. And it's like you can do it last minute. Like NFTs as gifts are like the perfect last minute gift option. It's like takes seconds to send it to the recipient. You have to wait for it to arrive. You have to wait for it to be in stock. What do you think about that, Abby? Are you going to be giving any NFT gifts this year?
I think that it's such a nice idea. And especially, I am actually going to be. I have a few friends who, for the last year that I've been talking about these things, still they've been very confused, but I feel like have been more receptive in the last couple of months and are ready just to have someone hold their hand and walk through the process. So I definitely plan on gifting some NFTs this year and helping people get their wallet set up and all of that fun stuff. And I think as you said, first of all, not everybody wants more stuff. Not everyone has room to like frame a piece of art on their wall. That can be a real presumptuous gift to give someone, right? But this is something that, yeah, I think people can appreciate in a whole different way. It's exciting, it's new, it's cool, and it's not something that they have to deal with. Like, where am I going to plug this in? I don't have any counters, but whatever it is, right? I think it can be practical on a lot of levels and just kind of introducing people maybe who haven't been to the space. And certainly those of us who are in the space, if you haven't received one as a gift, please send me your wallet. Oh my goodness. I would be happy to gift you with an NFT, because especially this time of year, like, maybe we're all in different parts of the world, different parts of the country, and it's not practical to ship something or it might not be on time. But what a great way to appreciate someone, share that connection. And as I mentioned earlier, investing in people, investing in something that you believe in, and then sharing that love with someone else is just like this beautiful win-win ripple out into the world situation. So I absolutely plan to do that and love it that you're thinking about it too.
Yes. Yes. Invest in people. I love that is like ringing in my brain, in my mind right now. And I feel like all of us in Web3 and NFTs, especially, can relate. And that's kind of like why we're here. Like, we're here because we want to invest in each other, in the community, in the mission, in the vision, and not just in ourselves. And we've kind of like, we're moving past the self centered nature of Web 2, just posting our selfies all day. Now we're taking some group photos. But what that triggered in my brain is that, like, loyalty always pays off. And what I mean by that is, like, during the holiday time and like during peak shopping time, the most loyal customers are always kind of given a preferred status or rewarded the most. I mentioned this as it relates to like our NFT collectors. Like, these are considered our most loyal customers because they've committed to our brand in like a new way, and they're embracing this new frontier and this new journey with us. And I feel like it's important to really, like, shower the people who are most loyal to your brand with all of the best benefits. And this holiday time, the deals that you offer, the gift with purchase, early access to sales, special discounts, exclusive offers, whatever it is, you have the power to decide whether to offer that or not, and to who you should bestow it upon. And I just urge you to really direct it toward the people who show you the most love because they deserve it. Right, Abby?
Absolutely. I think the reward system and being mindful of the reward system, especially as we go into the holidays, can really speak volumes, and goes a very long way. That loyalty, that sense of loyalty that they've been giving you, it's definitely something that's a two-way street, and to show them that love and that generosity. And because these again are relationships, and we want to strengthen those relationships, right? So it's this beautiful mutual exchange of energy when people are investing in your products and your services, and they're doing it time and time again. It just really feels like keeping that circle going when we invest right back in them, and show them that gratitude and show them that love. So I think that's huge and can go such a long way. So I love that. Tis the season, Sierra, just as you said, as we started the space, tis the season. It's finally snowing here in the Midwest. We often will get snow in October, but we had the most beautiful mild October. And here in just the last few days, it's starting to snow right in time for the holidays. So that always really kind of jump starts my internal, like, oh, holidays are coming engine. So I love the timing of this conversation, and just to start turning the attention towards just what can be a lot of different things emotionally, but almost always there's going to be some special moments in the holidays, no matter what comes with it. So love this.
'Tis the season, baby. I can't believe that we are approaching the end of this space. And I do want to just mention that As we approach this last 10 minutes, if you want to come up as a speaker, now is the time to shine. No pressure. If not, we'll gracefully start to close out the space in another 10 minutes or so. One thing that just came to mind are gift guides. And like, I feel like sometimes, sometimes it's like if you have a product or service, sometimes you have to tell people why they need it for the holiday and you can't wait for them to put the pieces together. And one way that you can do that as a small business owner is by making some type of gift guide and like either making it like an article, a thread, a blog post, and then, gently and gingerly, you slide your products and services up in that gift guide and let them know, hey, by the way, I got the gifts on deck. So it's like, the thing is, though, it's like, it is about like adding value. It's not just about like dropping the products and being like, hey, the gifts are here. It's like you do have to put the pieces together. And something I've noticed with the crystals is like, I find myself having to create a lot of content around like crystals to give as gifts. And like ultimately, I think everyone here knows you can give any crystal as a gift. Obviously, like not a cursed crystal. Like don't give no cursed crystal to somebody. But like you can give any crystal as a gift. But for people who are new to buying crystals, like this is like a really stressful question. And like they will really just be going crazy. Like, I don't know what to get. So like I started to put together little gift guides that are like, hey, holiday season is here. Here are like 5 crystals that you can give as gifts. And like they're just super, like they're super welcoming beginners crystals. It's like amethyst, rose quartz, black tourmaline. Like my crystal loving ass, I will accept any of these crystals as a gift any time of year. But I do think it's important, like if you have the bandwidth to put together a gift guide or a little holiday shop, like definitely get creative. You won't regret it.
I think that's really smart. That's such a smart thing to do. And I've noticed you do things like that throughout the year. You do a really nice job of highlighting like here are a few products. As you said, e- it's any of these things can apply at any time, but it's such a helpful thing because most of us are out here overthinking. I don't know anybody who isn't. And if you and I personally, I can't pick out a fucking trash can at Target, okay? Because when I go down the aisle, it's covered with 2,000 choices and they all look too similar, but they're slightly different. And I can stand there for 25 minutes and not get a trash can because there's too many choices. So if I love when someone does something like you've done, here are 5 out of these 6 million choices for you to consider on your trip today. And like, what a beautiful time saver for your customer. Again, it's meeting them where they are, it's making things accessible, it's helping folks sift through the many, many thoughts and questions that they have and saying just very directly, here you go. This is a helpful thing to sift through. And it makes it less overwhelming for those of us who, yeah, can't pick out a trash can, for example. So I love that you do that. I haven't done a lot of that in the past, but that's one of the things I'm writing down from our session today. I feel like I've really learned a lot from you today and picked up some great tips and some things that I hadn't really considered or thought about. So I really appreciate all of your energy and all of your wisdom and badassery. I think the world of you.
Well, the feeling is mutual, my dear. We always share so many gems with each other. We both leave feeling so relieved. Just like I really feel relieved after our spaces. I'm like, oh, that was fantastic. So thank you. I appreciate your energy. Something else before we wrap this space up that I don't want to forget to mention is that be mindful that most people are shopping on their mobile device. Like a lot of people are shopping on their cell phones or shopping online. Of course, there are the brave who bear the crowds and go out to the mall or the department store on Black Friday or Cyber Monday, and they fight with people over TVs and electronics, and they end up on the news or in a cringe video compilation on YouTube. But I will say every year more and more people choose not to do that and choose to use their phone or shop online. So as you are considering your holiday marketing, consider the fact that perhaps your customer will find you from an online search. Perhaps they'll find you from a hashtag. Perhaps they'll find you because another one of your customers shared your product or a review or a testimonial after receiving it. So just consider that as well. All of us obviously have a phone because we're in this Twitter space right now. So use your phone to your advantage. Something that I like to do a lot, and I'm going to share a gem right now. So like if you're in this space or listening to this YouTube recording, this is one of my little gems for Twitter. So like I like to go on Twitter and I'll search in the search bar specifically like this term. Where can I get crystals? I need a new crystal. I want more crystals. If only like just like, and these are just things I'll think like, like as a person who buys crystals, like what's something that I would tweet prior to deciding like I'm ready to buy a new crystal? Like what's the vibe I would put out? And I'm just like, okay, maybe I tweet like, where can I buy, like what's the best place to buy a crystal from? And then I'll go and I'll find people's tweets from like within the last week and I'll respond to them. And I'll be like, hey, I'm the place that you can go to buy it. I know you don't know me and I don't know you, but I found what you said and I have the answer for you. And like, I just encourage you, like, don't be afraid to do that because oftentimes it's like, that is what makes the difference between someone finding your business and someone not. So like don't be shy, don't feel weird about like reaching out to people who express that they're looking to do holiday shopping. Like put yourself out there, baby.
That is amazing. I think that is so awesome and makes such a huge difference. Talk about being proactive. I mean, that is really above and beyond, and as you said, can make a huge difference. So we know that engagement and interaction on these threads and on these tweets is going to help your algorithm. It's going to help people get eyes on you, but actively going out and not just waiting for people to come and ask you, but going and seeing, look, they've already asked out there into the ether, into the universe. Go and help them manifest that shit. I love that, Sierra. So, another thing I'm going to write down. You've dropped so many gems today, and I am picking them up, sister. Thank you so much.
It is my honor and pleasure. And I we have some of our listeners are people who come and listen often. And it's like, I know that Heather, for example, like sells her handcrafted goods that she makes with resin and like stickers and glitter and pressed flowers and all types of amazing things. And it's like, I encourage you, Heather, to like type into the Twitter search bar, like, I'm looking for a handmade gift, or like looking for resin statue, or like just start getting like really into the keywords around like, what you made, and the person who ultimately is going to find it and decide they want to buy it, like what are they thinking and feeling. Like I know, like for Jana it would probably be like someone who's saying like, damn, I need a psychic. Like I need some answers. I need somebody to read my chart and tell me what to do next. Like these are key terms that maybe like Jana would look for. So we're all different and we can all use this, crazy Twitter multiverse. We can all use it, and that's the thing that I try to like, let me emphasize something to y'all. Like all these platforms are just harvesting our data and doing God knows what with them. Take your power back. Use these platforms to the best of their ability. Use the search bar, reach out with people, connect with people. Like, don't leave anything on the table. Like, if they're going to take your data, you better be squeezing the life out of these platforms.
Well said. I love that. I mean, absolutely, and work smarter. Keep working smarter and around these things. I think that's 100% right on the money. I love it. I love everything you had to say today, tonight. Some really, really good tips, tricks. I'm personally ready for the holiday season. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to gear up my marketing and just get in the season. So I loved this space so much.
Me too. This was super energizing. I got some new tips from you as well. I am putting the finishing touches on getting our campaigns ready for next week, and I'm definitely going to incorporate some of our gems from today. We are at our hour, so we're going to wrap up our space. Just a reminder that we do this space every week and that we will meet next week. We have a full little calendar in our media tab. You can go and scroll through our media and find it. Or I'll share our next episode within the next few days if you're following us. If you join late and you want to hear the discussion and get all of our awesome Black Friday, Cyber Monday holiday marketing tips, this episode will be uploaded to YouTube so you can listen back to it at any point. Thank you to everyone who hung out and listened for the last hour. We appreciate you sending lots of love and good vibes out, and we'll see you soon.